Alright, hello and welcome back to Ashgabat Cats. Let's play that. Today we're taking a look at Regulus. Interesting. This reminds me of another vertical scrolling shoot 'em up that ends in S. That's right, it's Xevious, just made by Sega this time, and not Namco. Huh. Interesting. So, you can move in 8 directions. Don't mistake this for a positive, though. Really? Oh, I see. So you're like a tank. And you're on the ground, and you can move in 8 directions, as tanks do. You also have a forward-facing shot, but it only lands where it lands, so that's not really helpful. Oh, okay. Well, it's one of those arcade games where terrain is not your friend. Which is disappointing, because with the screen full of enemies, I was looking for anyone who would defect to my side. Oh, cool, okay, so the dragonflies, okay, dragons, leave eggs, and you can collect them. I think those are eggs. I think you can collect them. Oh, that's kind of neat. So I will say at least... Oh, that looks like... Well, I mean, it was worth going for. And... Yep, there's no continue feature. But that's okay. I feel like we can put in a far better performance than we just did. C-A-T spells Ashgabat. Alright, put in another quarter. Oh, well, I guess we don't even get to play the guessing game with the year because it's in the lower right-hand corner. 83. Now, I'm very curious as to see when Xevious came out, because pretty sure Xevious is the game that kind of originated this style of play. And at least of the style of play, then definitely the bomb mechanic. So I may have incorrectly stated in the past that right end had the bomb mechanic. That's actually not true. Not true at all. So I'm pretty sure it's just a Xevious thing. So, well, that makes it all the more suspicious that it's here. Oh, interesting. 2 games that use pterodactyls for rewards and eggs. I wonder if pterodactyls were just in the public consciousness or something. It's not really fair because those little bee guys move faster than your tank. It's as though, what do you expect me to do exactly? I mean, I can barely hit them. You want me to outrun them too? That's not happening. I guess maybe you could try and anticipate their moments with a well-timed bomb. Or maybe just hang back, or try doing things like that, but... okay, I guess prevention is the best medicine. Okay. And then I'm starting to get tunnel vision. I mean, I'm sort of in the tunnel, so that's maybe not so unexpected. Okay. The bomb, I think one of the main lessons is don't hang out in the middle of the screen. I mean, the middle of the screen is a pretty happening place. It's like the local party, but that's also where your doom arises. Oh, it's one of those nice games that, So, am I technically continuing? Oh, well, I may have spoken too soon. Either that, or we're starting in a new level 1 with Scorpions. So I guess for those of you who were actually reading the screen, I am obviously not included in that party, we actually do have a continue function. Now, it's a little bit okay, that looks like mud or something? So we do actually have a continue function. It's not great because there's a checkpoint system going on, so while you can sort of continue your journey, not quite from the same place. I see, so it slows you down. That mud slows you down. I will give this game credit. It has the tightest tank controls I've ever seen. This is not at all like one of those games that has the notorious tank controls where it's left for left, right for right, forward for move, and back for back. Nope, it's, you press a direction on the stick, you go that direction. And I mean, there's a lot of room for you to just perfectly maneuver yourself if you want to completely destroy your joystick like that. Heck, you can even fire the whole time through. Oh, see? I technically fooled the game into making it think I was competent, and I made it to the next stage. Unfortunately, these enemies look like they take multiple hits. Are we in that dark stage of the game yet? Well, okay. This game kind of came out of nowhere and was a shocker. I mean, I may or may not have been down on Sega. Okay, is that a cliff? I feel like ever so subtly it has cliff physics, but not really. If you look at the fine print, then it's not really a cliff, but it kind of pretends like it is, so that's kind of nice. I may have been a little bit down on Sega in my Sega Sonic Mania Let's Play, but honestly, Sega's a quality company, and they got to where they were for a reason. And besides, you put Sega, you fight them in the arcades, you're probably gonna lose. You fight them on home consoles, well, they might win initially because the Genesis was 16-bit and the Nintendo Entertainment System was 8, but... And then they released the Super Nintendo, and that had all the RPGs, and that was clearly the difference maker. Have you ever noticed that the game system with Final Fantasy on it is the best selling in any generation? I've not verified that fact for accuracy. And honestly, that seems a bit more of a, like, it's probably Final Fantasy just jumped ship to the best selling one, but anyway. Although there was a Final Fantasy game released for the Vita, albeit a re-release, but still. Maybe that fact is not true. Well, also, too, Final Fantasy 13 was released on basically all the systems, so it's like, well, talk about hedging your bets. The flexibility in this movement, I mean, I feel like it's not necessary that you should be able to move with pinpoint accuracy. Ooh, a flag. Well, it was good. I don't know why, but just being in a tank collecting a flag, I got a flashback to Moon Patrol or something. But otherwise, the rest of the game is very much not Moon Patrol-y at all. Yeah, Moon Patrol was kind of a slick, slow, side-scrolling action game. This game is just kind of... It's everything at once. It's actually strange. Well, I mean, I'm sure that's not entirely news to you, but in this game, it's kind of structured where it's like you want to survive. There are a bunch of enemies, but by and large, it really does seem as though the enemies are ignoring you. I mean, they're just flitting by, and they're not really attacking me. Oh, okay. So that grate will kill you. Oh, that is the first time I failed to make it to the top of the high scoreboard. But we're definitely making progress, so I don't know. I got a pocket full of quarters. I got nowhere to be. Let's keep at it. Let's see where this game can take us. Okay, alright. So, despite the the mountain walls killing you in stage 1, which, I mean, I guess that's acceptable. No other environment seems to really kill you. Now, if you fall into the ocean, I'm sure you will die. Oh, there's only so far up on the screen you can go. Which makes sense, because otherwise, then you'd have an entire part of the screen that would be relatively safe, but, well, this is one of those times where I wish I could be there. Yeah, the enemies, well, it's a mixed bag with the enemies, because on one hand, it does feel like the enemies ignore you, and that's nice, but on the other hand, it does feel like the screen is just entirely flooded with enemies. Like it's their local convention or something, and they've all got to meet up. Like, this is the one time a year they get to meet up, so they're all going to make the most of it. And, well, they get in my way, and that's not fun. But with a little well-placed bullets, a little pluck, we can make our way past. Oh, okay. And you fall off the edge. I was just saying that maybe this wasn't so bad, but it got a little bit that bad. Yeah, and then the turret's like taking pot shots at you from the side. It's like I could have done without that one, Sega. The rest of it is like, yeah, I can begrudgingly admit that that's fine. But you start having those turrets. So I mean, the stick is very sensitive. So you make the slightest left turn into the ocean, and you are 100% in the ocean. Ooh. That's kind of interesting, though. Did you notice? Well, so obviously it's a continue screen, but it counts up. It doesn't count down. So that's interesting, and it says, like, the amount in text, not in actual number. Oh, so you can drive off the fence. Well, no walls can contain this tank. Except for, you know, the ocean and such. Oh, man. Oh. I decided to do a little sightseeing, you know, underwater. Yeah, this seems like the kind of bad part of any checkpoint-based continue shoot-'em-up, where you think you can make it through, but then you get to this one hard part. Oh, why did my tank... I mean, it's not a bad game, because I want to play again. I'm pretty sure I can make it this time, which I feel like is the absolute hallmark of a game. You know, I'm pretty sure this game made bank in the arcades back then in the day, because I can see a lot of people just playing this game and getting to that point, and they just feel personally challenged, and they are going to keep throwing in those quarters. They're going to keep on trying, because I can beat this game, gosh darn it. I know I can. There's nothing this game does that's too shocking. There's nothing it does that's coming out of nowhere surprising. It's a regular, straight-up shoot-'em-up. Alright. Now, for those of you who don't quite see how this could be so hard, and I mean, I do feel like justifying myself right now, the bridge is incredibly narrow, and you've got a lot of enemies around, and you've got a lot of... Oh my gosh. I don't even think I was touching the water. That was my worst time yet. Okay, if it ever gets to the time when I just straight up don't get onto the high score list, I might just quit. Oh, never mind. It does count down, like every sane continue system ever. Of course, considering that the last two low scores are 0 and 0, I think I can beat that. But that does set a self-imposed deadline. Okay, that's so weird how they just ignored me. Okay, we've made it further than we ever have before. Well-timed shots, do nothing. Did I trick the game into thinking I made it far enough? No, I did not. Okay, maybe this will be the last credit. Maybe. But I got a good feeling. That's what I say every time. Don't get your hopes up. And then we're here. I thought we had an understanding. I thought we were on the same... Okay, maybe not the same side, but at least a side that was not necessarily offensive to each other. Okay, gotta line this up. Because... well, I didn't do so bad. But, well, I guess in reflecting on it, the game was kind of fundamentally unfair. And especially in that little area, you're getting yourself into some sort of real choke point. Oh, you can't even make the timer go down faster by pressing buttons. The timer does what it wants, really. Oh my gosh. And look at this level playing right now. It seems pretty tough to beat. I can't imagine even making it to that, much less playing that. But I could imagine trying one day. Because, I mean, this is the sort of game where you could just spend, like, an entire Saturday just entering quarters, trying to make it to the next stage. And eventually you're going to get to a stage that will test your abilities, and you may not get to the next one, but by Jove, you're going to enjoy being stuck on this one stage. This and Lightning Fighters, there is a certain charm to these sort of checkpoint-based shoot-'em-ups. I feel like if you're just kind of a continue-based, like, start from wherever you died sort of shoot-'em-up, then there's no real skill necessarily. You just, if you're rich enough, you make it to the next one. Even Dodonpachi, and I mean, I like Dodonpachi. Dodonpachi is one of my favorite shoot-'em-ups ever. But Dodonpachi is entirely a shoot-'em-up where you can just credit feed if you want. You died? Oh no, you enter in another one. The only thing keeping you from doing any of that is your pride as a shoot-'em-up player. But if you don't have any pride, well, you can beat Dodonpachi all day, maybe multiple times in one day. But you start playing Regulus, and you're probably going to get to the spot I got stuck at. Maybe you stick it out a little longer, you make it a little further, but same thing. Inevitable human mortality, you're going to get stuck. You're only a human, everything slows you down, there's no way you can handle all of the enemies all at once. You know, I'm beginning to think that the stage that comes after the narrow bridge is probably the finale of the game or something, because I can't imagine there being that much more to Regulus. Either that or they're being coy. They're trying to keep a lot of the stuff from the main screen hidden. But anyway, that was Regulus. I didn't expect anything. At first in the beginning I thought, oh man, why would you guys rip off Namco? Now I'm starting to think Namco should start ripping off Sega. And on that note, this cat's got a scat.